VIP. 30 in this blunt, I need to slow down on the ride. See, gotta call my nigga down, I nearly skipped the heartbeat.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today guys, I want to jump right into this video. I don't want to waste too much time in the introduction. If you are brand new here, welcome. In today's video guys, I want to discuss white people or really any other race other than blacks saying the N-word. And I'm not saying this in the way of being offensive to somebody else of a different color, but more in the aspect of if it's in a song, I don't know, if they stub their toe, something along that line. Now, this may be triggering to anybody out there that is extremely pro-black and feel like there is no excuse for other races to say the N-word. And believe me, I get it and I understand. But I do also feel like there is a correlation with the N-word with every individual person. Every single person may have a completely different experience that we may not be aware of, that we need to talk about and have a conversation. There are people out there that feel that they cannot have these discussions because of the fact that they may be white or another race or biracial, whatever have you. So first, I want to start off this video kind of talking about my own personal experience and how I feel about the N-word. So as a lot of you may know, I did not grow up in America. However, I did move over here at a young age in the early 2000s. During that time, I realized that I was very much not the same as every other black girl that I saw. And I didn't really understand what that was. I remember going home and asking different questions such as, you know, what is the N-word? What are collard greens? What are chitlins, and just things that were a part of the American culture that I had no idea about. However, but because of my skin color, that was something that people immediately assumed that that was something I should have knowledge about. So first off, I had a full-blown British accent, so I did not sound like the other black people that I was around at the time. And I was bullied heavily for it. And I didn't really understand what I was doing wrong. I remember going home and trying to figure out so much of the African American culture that I had no idea about, watching The Cosby Show, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, shows like that. I've said this in numerous videos before in the past. And so this was something that I felt like I needed to do to gain acceptance within a culture that I was not accepted in from the get, regardless of my skin color. So this was something that I really did struggle with. It took me about 3 to 4 years to completely lose my British accent and be able to be kind of morphed into the African American side of myself that I didn't really know about. So with that being said, once I gained this acceptance, I then realized that this was a term of endearment. This was a, you know, this is my N-word, this is my friend, you know, that was something that I realized very quickly. However, when I saw other people, you know, using the word, maybe them saying it within a song, something like that, I immediately noticed that there were people of color that definitely did not say anything, that definitely made sure to just, you know, kind of turn a blind eye, be like, oh yeah, like that's that song, like da da da. I have been in this scenario, in this situation, time and time again, even at the age that I am right now. So with that being said, what is it? What are we really angry about? Because at the end of the day, the N-word passes that we are so casually giving out or so casually just turning a blind eye to is also the reason why we can't necessarily be so angry at these individuals for saying it in a song, for example.
I'm getting stronger. I saw my niggas a password. About to catch a felony. But trying to lose sight on the streets.
Voodoo. I can do what you do, believe me. Give me heebie-jeebies.
I did it the other day.
It's like
Brand new Lamborghini with a cop car with a pistol on my wrist like I'm a cop. Have you ever seen a real nigga rock star? It's no good guitarist, man.
throw it. Oh wait,
Yeah.
Glock, and then it's throw it, pull it.
Yeah.
And that is something that is really hard to talk to about with anybody because, of course, you're not supposed to say the N-word, right? And we get that. I understand that. But we also have people who feel that if it's in a song, it shouldn't be that big of a deal, right? Now, something that's very interesting to me is if you actually look up N-word pass in the Urban Dictionary, and I'll put a little clip of it right here so you can read it for yourself, it actually states that you're able to say this word as long as you're singing. So with that being said, then who collectively is choosing who and who can't say these words, you know what I mean? So the reason I even bring this up and the reason that I feel like it's something that needs to be discussed is I saw a video about, I think it was a week ago, of Hannah Brown saying the N-word live in front of 3 million plus people, who knows. I personally didn't even know about it. I had no idea about it until maybe like 5 days later of it happening. And it was something that I saw that was a little interesting, because when you look in the comment section when this was happening, there were people who were against it, and there were people who felt like it wasn't a big deal. She was mumbling, who cares, yada, yada, this. But the issue for me is, if we are putting the N-word in music, can we necessarily get upset of other races saying the N-word? Now, I personally think so. Yes, definitely you can. That's my personal opinion. However, if other races feel that that should not be an issue, that needs to be something that we need to discuss. We need to see why that isn't an issue. Another thing that really was on high alert for me was something that happened at a school a couple years ago. And I'm just going to insert the clip here because for me, I was just baffled.
One of the best schools in the country is right here in Maryland, but now Winston Churchill High School in Montgomery County is dealing with a racist incident. Students were caught handing out passes that were printed out. They look like this, supposedly giving them permission to use the N-word. Kevin
Lewis from our sister station WJLA spoke with one of the teens involved with this and the mothers of two involved students. They say they believe the school's overreacting to what they claim
was supposed to be a joke.
It's a joke that went maybe a tiny bit too far at the most, but the school blew it out of proportion.
Gavin Norman is a sophomore at Winston Churchill High School in Potomac. On Friday, two of his close friends printed around 15 copies of this meme from the internet and handed them out to students during lunch. The meme, modeled after a Willy Wonka golden ticket, says N-word pass. The idea being pass holders could use the racist term without repercussions.
It should have been like maybe 1 day suspension at the most, just like protocol for schools, but it ended up being a lot more than that.
Administrators have disciplined at least 3 students. In an email to parents, Churchill's principal said she was, quote, deeply disappointed and appalled by what she called a racist, hateful act. Your principal called this racist conduct. Do you agree with that classification?
I do not agree.
Why is that?
No one was trying to offend anyone. No one was saying the actual word.
it's childish.
Sophomore Philip Chillicom gave the incident a 7.5 on the offensive scale.
You know, it's something that I've been thinking about lately, and it's just been stuck in my mind. It's kind of like, you know, it's disappointing.
Beyond disappointing, for sure, beyond. But the point here that I'm trying to kind of shed a light to is that why are we even giving out N-word passes? Okay, we need to look at ourselves and figure out, why is that a thing? Because I know I've been into many situations, many different experiences where I am around a number of different people and I will see somebody that is not black say the N-word, and maybe a couple hours later, they won't say the N-word because a black man is present. In that moment, I then see a transition of my gender then becoming an effect. So I feel like, again, this is something that needs to be spoken about because this isn't necessarily fair. We can go down a list, of numerous artists, numerous black people, numerous dark-skinned people who may not be black, who have given these passes silently without us even really realizing or noticing.
One less lonely nigga. One less lonely nigga. One less lonely nigga. There's gonna be one less nigga. If I kill you, I'll be part of the KKK. Then there'll be one less lonely nigga. There's gonna be one less lonely nigga.
And I just don't get it. I don't understand why and where we have fallen in that. Because I do see an issue now arising of people not really seeing it as a big deal. Why is it a big deal if I'm around Sarah, who doesn't mind saying it around her black counterparts, and her black counterparts aren't necessarily going to say anything either? But the outrage will then be if it's offensive. So we now need to look at ourselves, and kind of set the standard. Because at the end of the day, you can be angry and say, oh, well, the N word is ours and it's our music and it's them listening to our music and then saying it. Yes, they also need to look at themselves and have that respect as well. But we also need to understand that we are also going around saying a very offensive word to each other, but then expecting what? You see what I'm saying? I feel that that is something that we all need to look at. Even myself. I'm literally looking at myself in the mirror with this same situation because I don't think it's fair and I don't think it's something that we need to just shed a blind eye to. Perfect example of this is
People seem to have a problem with you saying nigga.
Who gonna stop me? Who? It's the way I grew up. My culture is. I grew up in Bushwick, Brooklyn. It's not like I'm saying, that's a dirty nigga over there. It's my vocabulary, is the way I talk. Y'all all from New York. Probably went to school around. How many Spanish kids walk around like, hey, my nigga's popping? Like, do not make it a me thing. I'm not Post Malone. I'm saying nigga. I can say nigga.
So who gets to say it? Doja Cat, half black, unfortunately has been in some racial scandals as of now, who's also tweeting things like this. The girl that's the fan of Kendrick Lamar, who says the N-word because she wants to say all of his lyrics. However, she gets booted off the stage. Who gets to say it? The conclusion that I'm coming to is we all need to stop saying it. Each and every single one of us. But I know that's not going to happen. But we do need to discuss the fact that other races are saying it and the races that are getting upset about it. Again, I understand 1,000%, but we cannot deny the N-word pass that is definitely happening every single day in each and every corner, no matter your tax bracket.
Don't even say it. Don't say
Run, nigga.
You can say motorcycle too, right?
People know what Slim Shady is really about. No, I'm serious. Alright?
Only the real motherfuckers.
If you don't know what Slim Shady is about, you're gonna find out in time. I see a few of y'all in the front. You know what Slim Shady's about.
Gotta dish you. My niggas be cocking pistols. Shot split you. Fuck splitting the profits
split you.
I keep illin'. My steed's willing to keep killing. Niggas, pussy niggas, niggas, pussy niggas.
The White House counselor, a man who uses the word nigger.
Okay, Kylie and besties Jordan Woods and Justine Skye sing on the track, and I think you have to hear this.
I've never been on a song before. This is a fucking 1, 2, 3, yeah. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. I wish a fuck nigga would, yeah.
Well, people reacted on Twitter, obviously not pleased to hear Kylie say the N-word, but Jordan did respond to one user to defend Kylie.
Now, like I said before, I know that this is not going to change. However, this is something that we have seen in comedy. We've seen it in dramas. We see it all over the place. So I just want to start the narrative of why we need to change this, why this needs to be something that we look at a little bit deeper instead of in the joking way that we do see it in now.
Now, you don't have to be talking to me like that, nigga. Well, I thought we were cool. Why you tripping, nigga?
Now, if you've made it this far, I do want to go ahead and thank you for watching my video. Other than that, guys, I do really want to know what you guys are thinking. So do you think that there should be N-word passes? Do you think only black people should say the N-word? Or do you think that we all need to just stop saying the N-word altogether? Let me know down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.